31-0 is the score of the Kansas City Chiefs victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. All those lofty predictions that we all had weren't good enough. Kent Swanson, Maddie Lane here. Chiefs 31, Raiders 0. And I'm telling you, man, it doesn't even doesn't even do it justice. Like the score doesn't do it justice. An absolute beating of the brakes by the Kansas City Chiefs. Maddie, that was enjoyable.
I mean, yeah, it was absolutely enjoyable. And this doesn't happen in the NFL, right? Like you don't get games like this in the NFL where a team musters, 3 first downs for the entire football game. It took almost until the end of the third quarter for the Raiders to have more total yards than the Chiefs had points on the scoreboard. Like you don't get games like this at the NFL level. That was embarrassing. As impressive and as fun as that was as a Chiefs fan, if I were a fan of the Raiders, that was an embarrassment. I would be embarrassed about the performance that they put out there. Like that was otherworldly, the kind of beat down the Chiefs just put on this team.
It was. I mean, if this was a Saturday game in college football, this might be the end of a 2-5 teams coach. I mean, this is fire. Coaches are getting fired left and right for this. This was an embarrassing performance by the Raiders, but also just an absolutely dominant performance from the Kansas City Chiefs. Just looking at the gap between these two teams, like I don't think it's just that the Raiders play bad. I think the Kansas City Chiefs played a very good football game today. I think there's a combination. The offense was amazing. The offense was amazing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Defensively, I think they played well. And I think the Raiders offense was just that bad, and they had no chance whatsoever of doing anything against any competent defense today. So just an absolute masterclass from the Kansas City Chiefs and a fun game, I think, if you are a fan of eating, because everybody got to eat tonight, and they did. I'm full, Maddie. I am full after that one. 31 points from the offense, 4 straight touchdown drives of 65 or longer, 3 of those going 80 or longer. Every single yard available to the Chiefs offense in the first 4 demoralizing possessions they get. And they put together just a tremendous offensive performance this week.
Well, and ultimately, right? I think that's what it was. Is obviously the Raiders weren't playing a good football game, no matter how we play this out, right? But the Chiefs essentially getting that first stop after the first down and then driving 90 some yards for a touchdown, forcing another punt there quickly after that, and then driving another almost 90 yards for a touchdown. As soon as the Chiefs did that, it just you could just kind of tell the Raiders we don't have it today. This is gonna be bad, and it's just a matter of how bad does it get now. Man, you can't let another team's backup quarterback get in there in the third quarter. You can't do that as an NFL team, and they did. And there was essentially nothing the Raiders could do to stop the Chiefs. There was nothing they could do to create offense on the other side of the ball. And I could hear it in your voice. You were searching for it. The Chiefs defense played a good football game, but you can't even pinpoint specifically what they did well, because I think it was a little bit more of the Raiders were just being really bad, more so than specifically the Chiefs doing something particularly good.
Yeah, I don't think you take anything away. Yeah, I don't want to diminish. I think the defense played well, but they played I think we're gonna look at the snap counts for some of the starters, and it's gonna be in the 20s. It was just that ho-hum methodical. They had no chance of doing anything the entirety of the game kind of performance. That's just the defensive line, I thought, actually played pretty well and dominated a depleted Raiders offensive line. And I think that was the kind of the catalyst for this performance. But it was just so unbelievably methodical and easy. This team, I think you're going to look at are we sure Chris Jones, Nick Bolton played 20 snaps? It's got to be close, because they were out very quickly. I don't know.
Let's investigate.
This is almost a week off for them. This is preseason week 3 level snap or week 2 level snap counts for the defense. So it's kind of hard to look into it too much. They just dominated. The Raiders had no chance to do anything. And then the offense was just controlling the football and demoralizingly driving down the field 4 straight times to start the game. this thing just got out of hand so quickly, and it never even felt like a fight at all at like any point in this entire game.
Well, like offensive, I mean, just even going back to I'm looking here at snap counts. Chris Jones did get above 20. He played, according to Pro Football Focus, doing their live in-game stuff, he played 22 snaps. Bolton, McDuffie, 25. So just barely over 20 snaps for some of those defensive starters. I just want to, even back defensively, I agree with you. The defensive line played good. I thought everybody played good on the defense. It was the Raiders could not stop the Chiefs' defensive line from getting pressure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, Maddie, you cut out for a second.
Can you guys hear me again? I might still be here. Volume. Yeah, I don't know what just happened now. This is fun. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Please.
Oh, I can't hear you. So you're just take it over without me.
Yeah, no. I think they did a good job generating pressure. The defensive line did. And Chris Jones, I think, had we talked about this game a little bit with the defensive line, and we talked about hey, can they get home with 4? Can they beat up on a bad team? And I don't know if we're ready to make a bunch of sweeping declarations about this team on the defensive side of the ball yet, but I do think that it was at least good to see them dominate a beat up offensive line and one that has they don't have Colton Miller. They weren't particularly good in the first place. Geno didn't really have a chance, partially because that defensive line was that good in this game. I mean, I think this was probably Chris Jones' best performance of the season. I think if I was gonna say that. So, yeah, it was just the most workmanlike, dominant thing that I've seen in quite some time. Maddie, you were talking about the defensive line.
I don't even know where I lost contact here. I went Raiders on you. Just didn't show up. I thought the defensive line played good. The Chiefs coverage unit played well. They were giving the Raiders nothing easy, right? If you're the Raiders and you're looking at this team to keep pace in this game, you were hoping to rely on Ashton Genty to probably keep you ahead of the sticks. But I thought the Chiefs run defense early in the game on early downs, the 2 or 3 that they faced, they kept the Raiders into pass script. And as soon as they had to drop back and actively throw the ball, nothing was working well for them, right? And so the Chiefs defense just kept the Raiders on their heels the entire time. And then what I really wanted to get to is offensively, Chiefs offense was great. Don't get me wrong, right? They played phenomenal football. I don't know how much they really showed, right? I don't think the offense played, and I don't think they played clean either. Mahomes was getting away with some shit. He was just doing stuff out there that was real close to being bad, but you could just tell all the breaks were going their way. But I don't even know how much they showed. The Raiders played a really soft shell coverage for the most of the game. And so they were just whipping the ball out to Rashee Rice, to Travis Kelce, just to whomever they wanted. But yeah, I just don't think they even had to show a whole lot to be effective in this game. So all around, incredibly promising. And I mean, you got a good Chiefs game, but I don't think you got the best coaching performance from a schematic or just game planning design standpoint that you are going to expect to see majority of the year.
I think to your point, there is a little bit more ceiling to this team here. I really do think that, right? They can. There's even a more elevated version of this. You've got to remember, this team essentially played without 2 starting offensive linemen for the vast majority of this game. And we'll get to some of the injury stuff as we hear about it from Andy Reid. So we will, as soon as we're getting any of this information, we'll get it out there. But Jalen Moore starts at left tackle. Mike Caliendo has to play the right guard position for a large chunk of this game. I mean, even without 2 starting offensive linemen, you talk about Mahomes, he had a couple lucky little plays there. The Juju Smith-Schuster tip first down conversion. The vibes were just too high with Rashee Rice being back for I think for that pass to be intercepted. I think that's just all that was. And he almost throws a pick earlier in the game too. We could talk about Rashee though. We haven't really. We're 10 minutes in. There's a lot to discuss with this offense, and Rashee wasn't the only one that really stood out, but he definitely had a tremendous first game back. 2 touchdowns on the day. Great little performance from Rashee Rice. He finishes the day with 7 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. And welcome back, Rashee.
What a silly stat line. 7 catches, 42 yards,
10 targets. Touchdowns. 10 targets. No one had more than 5. Do you know who had 5 targets?
I do, because I'm looking at it.
Okay, we'll talk about him later too, because he had a good. He had quite the day too.
Rashard Smith. Yeah.
Yep.
no reason to like hide it. Yeah. Rashee Rice, good game, obviously, like a very good game from him. The stat line, besides the 2 touchdowns, I don't think it's going to blow anyone away, but like you could tell immediately the Chiefs were really intent on trying to get him the ball near the line of scrimmage. They were trying to ease him in. And then as the game got going, it was never a game, but when there was like hey, we need to pull ahead, you saw them hit a couple of those like little glances or slants on the RPOs to him that like, oh, there's that bread and butter that we have come to know for him and where he's going to be the most effective, right? And so they got him going in the most like rudimentary way he's going to be used all year, and it looked really damn good. He moves differently, I think, than anybody else. And I get it. Xavier Worthy is a freakish athlete for this team. But when you watch Rashee Rice catch a football and then turn up field and just go, it's a little bit different than even Worthy getting the ball in those situations. Or obviously the current version of Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, whomever. He just has a different gear to him and how he moves and plays on the field that you finally put a player out there that at any point in time when you see number 4 roaming around, you're like, where's he at? We got to kind of try to stop him. We got to keep eyes on him. If we don't, not only might he, get behind us a little bit and make him play or find a soft spot in his own, he's going to catch the ball and turn it into a big explosive play. And he was really close a couple times in this game. So it's just, I think the threat of him being out there, and to my point earlier, I don't think they showed you a lot. They just kind of were, they did the whole RPO offense. That's all it was. Just a bunch of RPO, just a billion RPOs in this entire game. And they're just like, yeah, we're going to fling the ball to some of these guys and see what they can do. And the Raiders just never could get any stops.
It just felt like the Raiders were wrong the entire game. And there was just a lot available to them at all times. And like you saw different things. You saw them get down the field a little bit with the vertical passing game to Tyquan Thornton. You saw the threat of the vertical passing game. And you saw how much space underneath. You saw Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce had a good performance today too. He looked good with his 3 catches, leading the team in receiving yards with 54 yards. And like I think he did some good things in this game too. Everything just kind of it just felt open. Everything just kind of felt open the entirety of the game. And I think just the stress that the skill players on the field with Mahomes put on teams, I think you kind of saw what that looked like. Yeah, I don't think you're done yet either. I think there is plenty of more on the table for what this team can do. But like it was nice to see Rashee Rice getting involved. It was like nice to see him being used in the jet sweep game, in the red zone, finishing a play there, a back shoulder fade in Kansas City. Like
they hit that in the preseason, right? They hit, and that's always been in Rashee Rice's bag. That's how he was used his final year at SMU, was this boundary. I'm just going to throw you these contested catches. And that's not how the Chiefs really use them. And I think you've kind of been saying this, you don't know if they weren't gearing up last year to have Rashee Rice play as a little bit more of a traditional outside receiver. And they didn't do that for the majority of this game, but in the red zone, having those little back shoulder fades, that also goes because he's a very good slant runner. So like having him kind of do both of those things as an option kind of makes him a really dangerous weapon down there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here, not just with Rashee Rice and his usage, but how everybody kind of starts to play off of it a little bit more. Because again, I think they found something in this game that worked early in the game. And I think they just kept hitting that same button over and over again. They never really had to adapt. Like we even look at the two vertical plays they did hit to Thornton and then to Kelce. They were on kind of broken plays. The Thornton one could have been in structure if the protection held up a little bit better, right? But like the 2 that they did hit and then they missed one were kind of on a little bit of broken plays where pressure was coming. So it wasn't like they were really pushing the ball downfield either. They just found something that was working and said, hey, we're going to keep doing this until you stop us. And the Raiders legitimately couldn't stop it all game long.
A dominant offensive performance at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the 50 on the field at the 50 for the next Chiefs dominant performance inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now and enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you could score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. And boy, I think anyone there was really enjoying a performance there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. I am very excited to hear from Tucker D. Franklin and get his takes on this game. We will hear from him right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home, because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise, because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity, because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
Thanks again hanging out with us today. Appreciate y'all for watching the KCSN post-game show. And boy, I'm feeling really left out because I didn't get the sleeves memo, I guess. Tucker Franklin
Join us.
tats out right now on the shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Maddie both just, you know what?
The guns out.
Boom. Look, if the Chiefs get to flex their guns, how come we can't flex our guns? Chiefs got to flex them a little bit today.
I ain't hating. I ain't hating on it, man.
Matty makes a good point, too. Last week, he had the guns out. Chiefs have been firing since Matty's been letting them breathe.
Fine.
Letting those pythons
out. Different shorts every week. You got to find something that works. We put the guns out. The Chiefs show up, full arsenal and everything. So,
I mean, what a game, guys! What a game.
Yeah. How just big thoughts, Tuck.
Yeah,
big thoughts here.
Big thoughts. First off, the Raiders are ass, guys. The Raiders are a really bad football team, and I think that like sometimes if we say that, people are going to be like, oh, well, you're taking away from the Chiefs. No. The Chiefs did exactly what they needed to do against an incredibly ass football team. Look at these team stats. They had 30 first downs. They had the Raiders had 3 first downs. They were 0 of 7, the Raiders were, on third downs. They were 0 of 1 on fourth downs. They had 95 total yards. It's not a good football team, and they made a bad football team look like a bad football team. How many times, Kent and Maddie, have we seen the Chiefs play a bad football team and they looked like a good football team when they were playing
the Jaguars?
Bingo. That was the answer I was looking for. So I always liked it when I was looking at my mentions tweeting about how like the Chiefs are back and people would be like, oh, they're just playing the Raiders. They're just playing the Raiders. That clearly shows that people don't understand that the Chiefs are an incredible team at playing down to their competition. And they have been an incredible team at playing down to their competition. They did not do that today, and that is something. Like, that is a very big thing. That is a very good thing to see. Maddie, I think you hit the nail on the head. Ken as well. This is something you don't see on Sundays. Like, this is a game that you do not see on Sundays. A shutout. This is the first shutout that Andy Reid had ever had in his career outside in the regular season. Yes, first regular season shutout. He had a playoff one, I think, at a division round against Houston. I can't remember what year it was. They were talking about it on the broadcast. But this is the first time, like, shutouts don't really happen that much in the NFL unless you're the Titans or the Jets, right? So, I mean, the Raiders aren't a good team. Chiefs defense played really well. Like, the snaps are insane, how they only got off 30 total plays. You're telling me they only ran 30 plays? That's like, the Chiefs probably had more practice reps one day than the Raiders had real reps. In terms of how many plays they got off. Overall, just an overall dominating performance. 42-minute time of possession. Like, that is That's insane. At one point, I mean, you had Gardner Minshew come into the game before the third quarter was up. You had knees being taken before the 2-minute warning. There was nothing that this team needed to do. Oh, yeah, by the way, Patrick Mahomes went the fuck off. I mean, he did in three quarters, excuse my French, 26 of 35, 286, and 3 tuds. In 3 quarters, guys. That is absolutely insane. Mahomes, I know you talked about the ball bouncing their way. Yeah, I'd rather be lucky than good anyway. I don't care. I'd rather be lucky than good. That's all that sometimes it matters, but they're pretty damn good too. That also plays into it.
Let's have some context here, okay? So the Missouri Tigers in week 1 of the season, they beat the Central Arkansas Bears.
Yeah. Like Craig Torres-ACL.
61-6. The Central Arkansas Bears had 15 first downs.
Right, that's a great point.
3 first downs is insane.
Yeah.
3 first downs is one of the most insane things I have ever heard in my entire life. I think that's the lowest amount of first downs I think I've ever seen the Chiefs have in my lifetime. I'm sure the wonderful Curtis Seabolt was probably going to find that stat somewhere. Do you have it already, Tug?
No, about first downs like ever in a game is what you're talking about?
I mean, 3.
Oh, the
3.
fewest. I think 30 is a ton of first downs. Like if you get 30 first downs, like that's insane.
30 first downs, but the flip side is the 3.
Yeah, the 3 is like both of those are
the Raiders
insane.
only having 3 is one of the most unreal things that I've ever seen in my life.
Nate Dogg in the chat, shout out. He said this was Bama versus an FCS school. This is like when Bama plays Mercer. Yeah.
Yes. But
it looks like FCS school usually gets a random fourth quarter touchdown too.
Yes, no, that's true.
Because that's what Saban let them so he could yell at them for
the
giving up a touchdown.
Yeah.
But still, right? Like you don't see this. Like the Patriots today also put up 31 points and blew out the Tennessee Titans 31-13. Yes. That was a real football game through the midway through the third quarter. That game was close. The Titans had 250 total yards, 16 first downs. Like that game, the Patriots won handily. Like they beat the brakes off the Titans, but it was close for a while, and the Titans put up stats. You do not see a team get shut out with 3 first downs. This was a worse offensive performance, I believe, than the Jets put up last week internationally. Like statistically, it might be worse than that. I have not compared the two. I just remember everybody talked about that game all week. This might be worse when you consider yards per play and the amount of first downs and everything they got. So like, whoo, buddy.
Unreal. I can't wait to see. Like this is one of the most anomaly performances I've seen from
the Jets. By the way, lost again.
Yeah, we
still
know.
Still bad. 45 passing yards for Justin Fields. Holy hell, that's really bad.
And he got benched.
Yeah, I was looking at last week's stats because I was Maddie sent me on the rabbit. It
was bad.
But yeah, first downs for them. Looks like the Jets had. The Jets had 8 first downs.
8 first downs.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many? You know how many rushing first downs the Raiders had?
How many rushing first downs the Raiders had?
Yeah,
probably 0, right?
Okay. Do you know how many passing first downs they had?
2. Did they have one first down because of a penalty?
They got 1 because of a penalty.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I got this. Since 2000, since the end of the 2000 season, this is the least amount of first downs a team has had in a single game. In 2000, the Cleveland Browns had 0 first downs or 2 first downs in 2000. So since then, this is the least amount of first downs a team has had.
Hashtag Matalytics. You need to tweet that out, Maddie.
Holy hell! Look,
so much work.
You know the Chiefs. Okay, so we talked about the Chiefs having 30 first downs, right? The Raiders had was it 29 offensive plays? So the Chiefs had more first downs. Is that true? Is that let me double check.
The Raiders had 30 plays. The Chiefs had 30 first downs.
Okay, so it was dead even on first downs the Chiefs had and plays that the Raiders ran on offense. That is also an insane stat.
This is
the stats.
They're great stats. This is one of those. It's an anomaly game. We'll never see. I mean, we will never see anything like this again. And it's not to diminish anything. It's just like it was 2 teams going the wrong direction the entirety of the game.
Yes.
You are never going to see a defense run 30 plays, give up 3 first downs the entirety of the game, and their star players having to play like 20 snaps. The offense played 77 snaps. The offense was, I mean, the defense for the Raiders, I think at least put up a little bit of a fight. Like there was some third downs that the Chiefs had to execute. There was some fourth downs the Chiefs had to execute. I mean, the Raiders got it to third or fourth down 17 times in the game. Chiefs go 9 of 15 on third down, 1 of 2 on fourth down. So they at least put up a little bit of a fight. Not much, but a little bit. Chiefs averaged 5.6 yards per play, 282 in the air, 152 yards rushing. The offensive performance, it wasn't like there wasn't a ton of crazy explosion, but it was just a very methodical workman-like kind of performance up and down the field. 4 touchdowns to start the game and really not too much of a resistance. One kind of blip, in one possession where Mahomes almost throws an interception. Then he almost throws another interception the next play that's tipped and Juju catches. But, I mean, it wasn't just like, hey, explosive play after explosive play. It was just out executing the Las Vegas Raiders for 4 straight possessions to start the game, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, again, they found something that worked and they just kept going back to the well, right? Like they kept doing the same couple things that were working. And then once it was working, I think you could tell that Patrick Mahomes started feeling it a little bit and he was trying to push the envelope. And that's how you got the no. I mean, one of the sickest no-look passes to Rashee Rice in the little flat was crazy. But then he was feeling it a little bit. He started trying to not even force the ball, but he was just trying to take some risks. And, we got a couple of the tip plays, a couple almost interceptions. And I just think that they were riding the high a little bit going into it. So nothing overly innovative about what they did. Nothing that I think really pushed the envelope. They weren't going out of their way to try to manufacture or make offense out of nothing. They found something that worked against the Raiders and they just kept hitting it over and over and over again. I do think the speed of Thornton and Xavier Worthy do matter. Like that does help open stuff up to make it easier for everybody else. But I don't think they did anything wild or crazy in this game. They just said, hey, we can do this up and down the field. And shout out, I know you have something, Tucker. Just shout out run game. The run game was mildly decent in this game. And that I do also think helped keep them ahead of the sticks. Like it wasn't, again, not great, not eye-opening or anything like that, but the run game was solid or good enough that it helped keep them ahead of the sticks, which made that pretty easy to go.
I want to say at the podium, Andy Reid said that Omar Norman-Lott's getting a MRI on his knee, and they will know more tomorrow. That's never a great sign. It didn't look like it was going to be a great injury on the field, and all of that happened.
He looked not even unhappy. He just looked a little shook when they showed him on the sideline. Like they showed Worthy after the shoulder thing, and he was doing the YMCA and stuff. And I was like, oh no, he's fine. But then they showed Omar Norman-Lott, and he looked like he was a little worried about whatever was going on.
Yes, and that is a big bummer for him. It's been, he's had a lot of injuries already early on in his career. Andy Reid also, after the game, says, my heart goes out to Pete in terms of the Raiders' injuries. After he beats him 31-0, he says, my heart goes out to Pete. So that is also the, what were they calling it? The AARP Bowl? I mean, that was the 2 oldest coaches to ever face off against each other, too. I mean, there was a lot of oldest and going on. There's a lot of the first evers going on in this matchup. I can't wait for the stat booklet to come out from this one. When you get the game notes from the Chiefs PR department, it's all the game notes about what had happened in this game. Like this touchdown put Patrick Mahomes in this place and stuff like that. So 10 things with BJ Kissel on Tuesday is going to be just nuts with all the stat nuggets in it, because I feel like there's going to be a ton that come out from there. But no, overall, it looks like that was the only injury that I'm seeing as I'm kind of trying to eye the timeline as well. That did talk about
a comment about Trey Smith's back locking up.
Yeah, that's
so. Did you say that already?
I did not see any. No, Andy Reid just said we'll see on Trey Smith's back. So it's nothing formal in terms of the injuries, right? I think he had to be asked about Trey Smith. That wasn't on his sheet of paper that he was given, right, when he goes up to the podium. But that is one where when they were saying hey, he's got a back injury, and it's just all right, Trey, you're probably good, dog. You probably don't need to gut this one out. I was thinking the same thing with Worthy after he got kind of pulled down by his arm. I was like, you know what, you could probably sit this one out. You'll be all right. You're already up 28-0 at that point, I think. But no, the injuries obviously not great, but good to see, Maddie, as you mentioned, Brashard Smith get in there in the screen game. We hadn't seen the screen game in in a while. It feels like. I think they started to get back to it a little bit more last week, but the quick now screens, the running back screen game, all of it is something that I think that the Chiefs are going to need to lean on and going to be very dangerous now with their full complement of weapons. Hopefully healthy.
I two comments here. One real quick. 96.5 The Fan. Andy on Rashee Rice's return. He came back and performed at a high level and notes that the team will continue to ramp him up. Well, he had 10 targets in 3 quarters of football. So I don't know what ramping up likes. Maybe it looks like Flacco and Jamar on Thursday Night Football. I don't know what ramping up looks like.
Targets.
I mean, like,
Hey,
he was already ramped up.
He wasn't playing the most snaps out of anybody. Like, he had a high target share, but he was playing, like, Worthy was playing more snaps than at least like the first half. So maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know.
I wanted to talk about Brashard Smith. I thought it was a great performance from him, and I don't really think it's entirely a coincidence that basically, I think if you're looking at guys that can produce some yards after the catch, I think Juju's got a little bit of that, but I mean, it's Rashee and it's been Brashard. And I don't know if it's entirely a coincidence that the day that Rashee Rice comes back and they start getting a lot more attention and paying attention to some of the stuff that Rashee Rice can do after the catch and maybe some, situational play calling alert. All of a sudden, okay, you're probably, we might be trying to get a little now screen to Rashee Rice. No, we're going to pop a angle screen to Brashard Smith on the opposite side of the field out of this play, and he's just going to go out and put some stuff together. You look at Brashard Smith. He finishes the game with 81 yards, 14 carries, 39 yards. Now, a lot of those carries were during garbage time. I think, just giving him a chance to develop as a runner a little bit, especially since they only carried 3 running backs, and I think they were trying to keep Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt off the field a little bit as much as possible. But Brashard gets an opportunity to carry the ball a little bit with the backups. But man, I think he did some really good things in the passing game too. Like both run and pass, like when the offense was kind of firing on all cylinders, like Brashard Smith was a bright spot on this offense on a day where, Rashee Rice is coming back and all that excitement. Maddie, I think Brashard Smith, I think he had a really strong performance and a good reminder of the talent that he possesses and the unique skill set that he really has and brings to this offense.
Yeah, he really stood out when they got him the ball. Like you said, Worthy's really fast, but when they get him the ball, you kind of got to get him moving away from defenders. He's not a guy that's going to run through a lot of arm tackles, or he's not best weaponized in traffic necessarily, although that reverse was actually a pretty good job by him. But Brashard Smith, along with Rashee Rice, like those two guys, when you get them catching the ball while working back through traffic through the middle of the field, they can make guys miss. They're explosive. They can get downhill. So continuing to use, I kind of joke about it, but it's also kind of, they're using Brashard Smith almost like a wing back from like an old wing T offense, right? Like he's aligned like in the slot, but off the line of scrimmage farther than most other guys, and like a real weird tight split. And they run a lot of little screens from him. Like they run a lot of little bubbles. And we also saw a tunnel screen from him, I think, in this game. So it's just a lot of screens, a lot of passes at the line of scrimmage. But like you're saying, when you have a defense that's so worried about where Rashee Rice is, what Travis Kelce's up to, do we have guys that are deep enough to keep up with Xavier Worthy or Tyquan Thornton downfield? It does open up a lot of space for him. And so I think pairing him with Rashee Rice at the same time, it's kind of difficult. You're going to get a lot of one-on-one matchups, a lot of good blocking angles for receivers outside for whichever side's not receiving help. So yeah, it was a good showing for him. I think the Raiders played, especially in the first 3 quarters, some of the softest coverage you're ever going to see. They had some safeties deep over and over again. So like when you get that, I do think getting the ball quickly out to Rice or to Brashard Smith is going to make it life a little bit easier. So there might be some games where he won't be as effective based on how defenses are playing them, but I thought he did a good job. And I like seeing him get the running back work late in this game. It wasn't like super effective or anything, but he was running hard. He was getting downhill. He wasn't shying away from slamming and, banging in between the offensive linemen, running into defensive linemen, taking big hits. So it was nice to see him get some true halfback work just to see like if that is something he can continue to develop and become a more traditional running back in the future. But at the very least, they do have this weapon that they can use as a receiver, whether he's in the backfield or not. And I think you're starting to see more and more the ways they can do it as they get going with these different variations of screens.
There are quotes coming out left and right that are all just awesome.
They're great.
This is from Charles Goldman. Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones says that Maria Spagnuolo should make pasta to celebrate Steve Spagnuolo's first shutout in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good
Deep
call.
balls all around.
Chris Jones said he feels great. Says he feels great after only playing 23 plays. 23 plays.
That's insane.
Just absurd. Okay, couple other things. Patrick Mahomes on his 4th down fake call. If you don't remember, he loudly criticized
We haven't talked about that.
The 4th down play call, yelled some obscenities, and then snapped the ball, handed it off to Kareem Hunt for a first down. Patrick Mahomes. It all comes from my State Farm acting.
There it is.
That's so good.
That is good.
Here's a serious quote from Patrick Mahomes, Tracy Wolfson after the game. We're running at a high level. All we can do is continue to get better and better. I echo that statement. It keeps looking better and better. Like you're just seeing the weapons start to materialize. Guys, there was 2 offensive linemen missing in this game.
Yeah.
2 offensive linemen missing from this game, essentially. Because, I mean, Trey Smith was out very quickly. Didn't miss a beat. Now, they did look, Max Crosby, unfortunately did go down with an injury early in the game. It didn't matter. I don't think that mattered one iota. I don't think anything changes in that game. If
they had another defensive lineman too that was out before the game. He got injured, and I can't remember who it was, but one of their starting defensive linemen, got hurt pre-game. But I don't know. I don't think Adam Butler really swung was a 31-point swing.
The Chiefs might have won 28-0 if both of those guys played. Right? Like, I do think Max Crosby makes a little bit of a difference because, like, I thought Jawan Taylor was doing a good job against him, but there was a couple plays where Max Crosby was really close to kind of blowing some stuff up, right? And so I do think losing Max Crosby when they did helped lead into the complete avalanche. And I'm not saying the Chiefs wouldn't have still dominated this game. Don't get me wrong. I do think Max Crosby is good enough that he might have been able to get them off the field on one of those drives at some point in time. Is all I would say for that. But to your point, Chiefs were down 2 offensive linemen, and I thought Jalen Moore once again played really well in place of Josh Simmons. I do think that it was still a small step back from what I think we saw from Simmons at his best to start the year. There was a couple plays in there where I thought that he was not losing, but on the verge of losing pretty quick. And so I think you saw some of the quick game might have been a little bit deliberate because you wanted to make sure that wasn't going to set you guys back or anything. But all in all, he played well. Mike Caliendo came in, and I don't think he was at any point in time a problem. That's against one of the worst interior defensive lines in the NFL. But I thought Caliendo played pretty well. He looked stronger, a little bit more stout in the run game than I think he did last year when filling in for Joe Thuney, when Joe Thuney had to kick out to the tackle. So, yeah, offensive line I thought played well. They did a good job. Wanya Morris, when he came in as a 6th offensive lineman, did his job, right? Did a good job of that 6th offensive lineman personnel package. So, offensive line playing good, receivers playing better, running backs playing good. Like, everything on this team's kind of pointing in the right direction.
Ken, I'm curious if you've seen anything. Jawan Taylor obviously left the game with that shoulder injury. I haven't seen anything up from him, any comments at the podium about Jawan Taylor or anything like that. So I don't know, like, the severity of it. Doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal if they're not even talking about it, but I don't know.
Well, and, I haven't seen anything yet. But, well, I'm sorry. I am seeing a quote on the offensive line, on the backup offensive line. This is from Patrick Mahomes. They took it upon themselves to get better. Mike Caliendo's always gave us great snaps. Wanya has always given us great snaps. When their number is called, they're ready to go. So Wanya getting a little bit of a shout out here too. That just, this is the tinfoil hat in me speculating. Maybe there was something wrong with Jawan that they're trying to pump up Wanya and give him some confidence heading into next week if he has to step in and play. But I hope that is not the case. I hope Jawan's okay. I tend to part of me does wonder what the severity of all these injuries are, because this was such a dominant performance and such a dominant game that, like, do you really need to worry about risking running people back out there? And the Chiefs have no reason to reveal the severity of some of the injuries that might have kept players out of their game, because it's good gamesmanship for people to know exactly, it's good gamesmanship to kind of keep some of that maybe, at close to the vest when you play the Washington Redskins on Monday, or Washington Commanders, on Monday. So, yeah. I don't know what that just. Yeah, I guess
they haven't been that for a long time. I mean, they've had 2 names since that one. That was a deep pull by you right there.
Washington football team. I skipped football team too.
You did.
You skipped the best name.
They should have just stuck with football team.
Oh, absolutely.
That would have been funny.
Warhogs was my pick. I think that would have been pretty sick.
Like there's only so many places you could go with Warhawks.
That's fair. That's cool though. Really cool.
So I'm seeing a couple conflicting reports here on the Raiders snap count in its historical context.
Yeah.
No, I think I've got it. Here we go. So the fewest plays in a game since 1978. This isn't just the third down stats, okay? This is even better. Fewest plays in a game since 1978.
Oh man.
The 1999 Browns, week 1 against Pittsburgh, 28 plays.
That also showed up on the first downs thing. Shockingly, I know, big crossover there. Surprising.
Since 1978, though.
Right. No, I just remember that 99 team was also on the third downs thing. That's all.
And then it's the Raiders this week, 30 plays.
Yikes.
30
It is
plays
literally the
rough.
second least amount of plays ever since 1978. That is just absurd. It's absurd.
Here's a question. I know we're not a Raiders podcast, but does this is Pete Carroll on the hot seat?
No.
Nah.
I don't think they have the talent to even judge anything right now.
I think that's
I was
fair.
gonna say they don't have the money to.
They also don't. They're paying 4 head coaches right now, so I mean,
Maybe
they're not the richest of franchises.
Maybe Tom Brady should stop getting insider information.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's getting fed false information to give to the Raiders, and that's actually what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Raiders will make some of those other podcasters quit, like the Panthers made that one podcast quit doing podcasts. Now they're above 500. That's hilarious, by the way. And maybe they'll just get some podcasters to quit and then they'll be good again. But here's a positive spin for Raiders fans. Gino didn't throw a pick. Shout out Gino, no picks for him today. I had a tweet already queued up of Eugene Smith completed a pass to the other team. Didn't even get to use it today. That's too bad, but good for the Raiders. Gino didn't throw a pick.
Rashee Rice says that Patrick Mahomes no-looked the entire team on his no-look pass. He said he had no idea the ball was coming. Sorry. Just that was worth jumping into.
No,
Tricked
that's
Rashee Rice, too.
Good.
Shout out Gino
good.
for his ball security, though. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Chiefs last year, when they played all their backups against the Denver Broncos, got 5 first downs.
No way.
Yeah, they had 5 first downs. Sorry, they had 18 minutes of time of possession, so they performed better there as well. 98 total yards. Yeah.
That's a great comp though. That's a good poll by you there. The Chiefs game last year against the Broncos. Yeah.
Carson Wentz just putting him to shame.
Well, we got to see Kenny Pickett today. Kenny Pickett played a football game, kinda.
What was the score of that Raiders? Or was it 38-0?
38-0 Broncos. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 38-0. So they had a stronger shutout against the backups.
The Chiefs starters just week 18'd the Raiders.
The Chiefs ran more plays than the Raiders did, so that's good.
I mean, that's not surprising at all. Am I right? 77 plays for the offense too. Like that's
a lot.
There was very few chunk plays. They weren't just they weren't flying up and down the field. It was again RPO all the way down the field. Just dunk, dunk, dunk. The couple explosive plays were, I mean, they still 30-yard. I guess Kelce's first catch might have been a little longer with the run, but it's not like they were big, huge, massive 50-yard plays or anything like that.
The two big explosives were the Taekwon play and the Kelce play, and I think everything else was, I mean, Noah Gray had a big catch too.
Yeah.
28-yard catch.
Forget about that one.
What was really impressive is they were just so methodical. And I know that Matty, you had tweeted this out a little bit too. It was in our group chats a couple times as well. It's just you just kind of wanted to see something with the Chiefs offense of them just letting it eat down the field. But the Raiders obviously knew what they were doing, right? Playing those 2 high shells, just not letting anything happen. But the way that they just kind of methodically moved the ball down the field was something that on that drive, I think it was just before halftime, right before they scored, and it was one of those drives where I was like, wow, this drive is insane. I think those first 3 drives, Patrick Mahomes had over 200 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. He's the first quarterback ever to do that. in the history of the NFL. So like they were methodically moving the ball down the field. Didn't matter if it was running it, didn't matter if it was passing it, and it was just overall just complete domination. And really, here's an interesting question we could talk about as Herbie Teope's clips are now rolling in for me. And this is an interesting question I want to talk to you guys. When did you think that game was over?
14-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think after the Chiefs went up 14-0, I was like, okay, they're going to win this game. When did I think it was going to be a complete and utter disaster like it was? As soon as the Raiders gave the ball back to the Chiefs after that. As soon as the Raiders accomplished nothing on that, I guess it would have been their third series, right? Yeah. As soon as they did nothing there and the ball went right back to the Chiefs, I said, this might get ugly, and it might get ugly fast. Because I looked up at the time. I went and saw how much time was left in the game. Like, there was nothing. I was like, oh, the Chiefs are just marching up and down the field and eating so much play clock right now. Like, they're going to have no time to do anything. So, yeah, pretty quick.
I have a fun stat for you. Why don't I share that stat right after this break?
All right. Well, you can share it after, maybe not after that break, but you can share it after this break.
Chiefs Kingdom, I have got a question for you. What is your favorite touchdown? Well, for me, I can confidently say that my favorite touchdown, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. From spreads to money lines, same-game parlays, regular parlays, you want it, DraftKings has got it. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Chiefs dominate and play a different sport than the Las Vegas Raiders, 31-0. I teased a fun stat here. 9 Chiefs had a runner pass longer than 10 yards against the Raiders this week. All but 2 of the skill players that touched the ball had a gain, including Patrick Mahomes on the ground with a gain of 10. The only 2 players who touched.
Hold on, can we guess? Can we guess the players that didn't get to the 10 yards?
Yes.
Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
Mr. Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
Good guess.
Great guess.
Great answer.
Do you have one? I don't know. I don't know who our second one is.
I'll give you a hint if you would like it.
Not yet. I'm thinking here. Tanyan didn't
Juju,
get
maybe?
target.
Did Juju get 10? Juju might have got 9 on his
Nah,
catch that he had.
that ricochet pass felt like it was longer than 10, right?
You're right.
Juju had a play of 19 yards. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I mean,
I have a good hint for you.
Okay, fine.
okay.
It's a good hint. All right, so you got one of them is Kareem.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one scored a touchdown today.
Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Oh, I thought that was outside the 10. Was it like
No. Hollywood had an 8-yard touchdown.
8? Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
just everybody got to eat.
Everybody was eating, man.
Everybody was
Wow,
eating.
it was eating real
Chris,
nice.
I think that Chris actually thought that they were talking, like when he said everybody got to eat, Chris was like, oh, so Maria needs to make some pasta because everybody got to eat. So I think that's where Chris's head was at. I like where his head's at. Great headspace to be in. But I haven't stopped thinking about Maria's pasta.
Have y'all seen the picture of Chris Jones on the sideline?
No.
No.
He's got a glass bottle that's whatever's in it's clear, but it doesn't look like a glass of water bottle. It definitely looks like he's sitting there pulling vodka on the.
Gosh.
100% looks like that's what it looks like.
Did you see? So at the end of the game, I really wish that I had the ability to like screenshot a broadcast, right? Like those broadcasts typically don't like to do that. I wish I had the capabilities to do this because there was a time where the broadcast panned over to Ashton Genty. I think it was at the 2-minute warning. The score bug comes up across the bottom, and he has his eyes closed, and he's like looking up at the sky with his eyes closed. And there would have been a perfect screenshot of Ashton Genty with his head up, eyes closed, with the score of 31-0 across the bottom. And poor Ashton Genty, man. He just didn't have any room to get anything going for that.
Reminiscent about playing at Boise State. How about playing
Genty,
these Mountain West guys?
Ashton Genty just having to be a Raider.
That's probably what he was thinking about. He's like, man, now that can't be a fun plane ride home, right? Like that can't be.
Who are you even mad at though, right? Like, I know it's gonna suck either way, but like, if you're a Raiders player, like,
yeah,
what are you mad at? Nothing was good. The coaching wasn't good. The execution wasn't good. Nobody played good. Like, who are you actually mad at? Are you just mad? Like,
you ever seen the video of the guy who like gets into the car? It's a video. He gets into the car and he's got like a shirt torn and he's just like all cut up. He's got his eyes busted open and he's just like showing his like injuries to the camera. Like that's kind of what happened to the Raiders right there. Is that they just got holistically beat down. And like there's no one. You're right, Matty. It's like there can't be one thing that you blame because everything sucked, and that was the bad part.
Guys, they didn't get out of their first 15 plays. Like their opening script, did they even this is dead serious. I don't think they got through their opening script.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah, you definitely canned it as soon as they go down 14-0, right? Like you're already out of it then.
Yeah, you normally try to get about 15 plays to get an idea what's going on, but like at some point you're just like, okay, well, I don't even know if we have time to figure this out.
Yeah.
We just need to go. Like that's just like how dominant this performance was. I think they didn't get to, and I know it's not exactly 15 all the time, but they didn't get to 15 plays until the second half. Just an absolute dominant performance. It's just you're never going to see anything quite like this. You're never going to see anything quite like this. Tucker, I'm assuming that the clips from the locker room are going to be jovial.
Yeah, great vibes in the Chiefs locker room. Herbert T.O.P., our guy with the boots on the ground in the Chiefs locker room right now. These clips are coming from that winning locker room. Well, first, we got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce on the program. Ever heard of him? Kind of a big deal now. Mike Dana, Noah Gray, and we're going to wrap up with Harrison Butker. Shout out Harrison Butker. First game without a mistake for him, without a missed kick, without any hiccups. So shout out Harrison Butker. We're going to hear from them. Shout out to Herbie T.O.P. for getting these locker room clips. Here's what the guys had to say.
Could be this season, especially with everybody back.
He's just always going to make sure that he's doing what he can to get better. And that's why I love playing with him. That's why, this team is going to keep getting better throughout the years because we all kind of have that mentality. Like, day in, day out, week in, week out, making sure that we keep getting better every single time that coach challenges us. And it's one of those things where you see Pat doing it, that sets the tempo.
Yes.
And it's it never blows me away how good that guy can be and how prepared he always is.
Mike, there's no such thing as perfect, but how close to perfect was that outing?
Oh, man, it was an awesome game. I feel like all three phases from special team, offense, defense, they all exceeded expectations. And, guys did their job, man, and it was a great game.
You're now 4-3. What does it mean to overcome that 0-2 start of the season?
Well, we're just taking 1 week at a time, man. Handling the team we got, that week, and not looking past, not dwelling on the past, or not looking too much forward, but just handling it 1 week at a time, one opponent at a time. So, looking forward to the next game, and it was a hell of a showing by all three phases. Excuse me.
No, there's no such thing as perfect, but how close to perfect was that performance against the Raiders?
These guys just did a great job, and it started with their preparation and practice, and then they came out here and took it into the game. So I'm just proud of playing alongside my teammates.
Speaking of playing alongside your teammates, you got Rashee Rice back. What did it mean to you and also the offense to see him back on the field?
So much. Yeah, he's a great player. He's very talented. He helps us out so much on offense and all the different things that he can do. So very grateful that he's back, and we're looking forward to continue rolling with him.
Yeah, we did a great job. What was the final score? 31?
31-0.
31-0, 4 touchdowns. I don't think Matt punted all first half. We had, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, 21-0. Pretty amazing. A lot of times I'm in the kicking net, so I'm not seeing exactly what's going on. But, 3 touchdowns, 3 for 3 in the first half. And then obviously a great second half. Got some of the other non-starters in to get some playing time. So pretty amazing game, and we love having a home 12 o'clock game, winning, it's pretty awesome.
You're now 4-3 after the 0-2 start. What does it mean to you and also the team that you're able to right the ship and turn things around?
I think you just got to focus on the process. Yes, sir, Kels. You got to focus on the process, and you can't listen to a lot of the noise. So, Coach Reed does a great job making sure we're dialed in throughout the week on game days so that when you do have a loss and maybe it seems like your back's against the wall, it's like, no, we're not going to change anything up. Keep doing what we're doing, and we should find success, and that's what we've been able to do.
Happy locker room. Dana's smirk there said it all. Just like, they know what they just did. They know what they just did to this football team. They embarrassed them. They absolutely embarrassed them. The Las Vegas Raiders look 4 years away from being 4 years away.
They're a long ways away. That football team sucks. I don't know if I can estimate how. There's a legit shot in when we do the ass list later on this week, when I update the ass list, there's a good shot they might be in Titans tier. Jets tier. Sorry. I renamed the Jets tier to Titans. That's crazy. Maybe I gave some away. But, there's a good shot that they are falling.
Understandably.
Oh.
Understandably.
Bad
Let's celebrate a little of ourselves before we get out of here. Toast game time. All right, Toast Game is brought to you by Ben Holiday, bottled in bond bourbon, celebrating another Chiefs win. 4-3. First time the Chiefs have been above 500 all season, by the way. So that's fun.
How about that?
Tucker, why don't you kick things off here, buddy?
Oh man, there's just so many ways that we can go with this. There just is so many ways we can go with this. I want to shout out KCSN Player of the Game. Once a week, we're going to have a vote for that. And make sure to go vote on that on the KCSN X account. I ran a poll also on the YouTube live. If you're watching this live at us, you were voting for your Player of the Game. I need to shout out the chat. It says Patrick Mahomes is their Player of the Game. 61% of the vote. So, wow. He kind of running away with it there a little bit. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to everyone in there. But my Toast Game, I've got to raise a glass to the man who is in charge of it all. There's been a lot of times this year where Andy Reid has been put under fire for this. And he said, just wait, guys. Just wait. Guys, just wait. Hang on. We'll get these guys back. They got those guys back. They got the guys back. They got Rashee back. They got Xavier back. They're humming. This team is humming, so you got to give I'm raising my glass to Andy Reid. Been a lot of frustrations about Andy Reid. I think this is a good one. These last 2 games have been really good for Andy Reid, I think, in that department. Raising a glass to the big man, Big Red, getting cheers from me. And good health.
Hopefully good health.
And good health.
So you guys were talking about Mike. I know I'm derailing. You guys were talking about Mike Dana's smirk in the locker room and how he knew what they just did to the Raiders. So while this was happening, I have been going back through Mike Dana's career, trying to find him being involved in any version of a shutout of this caliber. It did happen in college. One time, not at Central Michigan. That's what I was looking for. I was thinking if Central Michigan got shut out this poorly. That never happened. So he's not been on the losing end of this. At Michigan, they shut out Rutgers 52-0 in 2019. But that's the only time he has witnessed a shutout quite like this. And he was also on the winning side of that one. So I just thought that was funny. Playing at Central Michigan, I was like, I wonder if he ever was on the other side of that. No. So that's probably where that smirk came from. Yeah. You're muted, so I'll do my Toast Game now. And we are going to go with, I mean, come on, guys. Everybody's got to eat. He's back. For the first time this season, we see Rashee Rice out there. He comes in, funny stat line, but 2 touchdowns. That's 2 servings everyone does have to eat. Everyone's going to keep saying it. You got Tony Romo saying it. You got Nance saying it. You got Chris Jones eating, I don't even know what he was eating, a giant hamburger on his sack celebration. Everyone's got to be eaten, but only one person sits at the head of the table, and that's going to be Rashee Rice for the rest of the season, baby. Put the ones up. Or fours.
One's up. Fours up. Fours up. Fours up. Throw up the fours. Cheers.
I was gonna pick Andy Reid for taking a knee before the 2.5 minute or 2 minute warning. Sorry.
Well, I didn't want to take Rashee Rice because I knew that like somebody was gonna have something about Rashee Rice. I didn't want to pick low hanging fruit, so I was like, oh, here's an interesting one, Andy Reid, and then I can't believe I took it from you.
No, it's okay. But like it was just purely because of how diabolical it is to just start taking knees before the 2 minutes.
Wait. Speaking of diabolical, we didn't even talk about the play that they had lined up that they had a false start on, where Gardner Minshew came in the game and they had 2 quarterbacks, and that was definitely going to be a touchdown.
Sweet play.
That was diabolical as well. Also, add that to my docket for Andy Reid. Add that to the Andy Reid docket.
Minshew getting a revenge touchdown pass.
That would have been incredible. Oh my God.
Real quick, before you give yours, I do have a shout out for like a half toast game to Pete Carroll for not using his timeouts and just letting his hammer get over with. Round of applause for Pete Carroll for realizing what the hell was happening and just letting us get out of Dodge.
Thank you, Pete.
Right.
Thanks, Pete.
Appreciate you, buddy. I will go with Jalen Moore and Mike Caliendo for stepping in and playing a big role for this team, having to play. I mean, Caliendo in his instance just coming in after, the injury to Trey Smith, and then Jalen Moore for stepping in and playing at a high level this week. Can't say the challenge was too big with, but it was still a really solid performance from him. So I think he should be excited about that. So shout out the big boys on the offensive line stepping in despite the shuffle. So good job, gentlemen. That was fun, man. It's an unprecedented game. You're probably never going to see anything quite like it. No. You're not. You're just not. You're not going to see something quite that dominant ever again, most likely. Just workman-like domination of a football team that is paid money, millions of dollars to perform, and they just them 3 first downs. 30 first downs for the Chiefs, 30 plays for the Raiders, a 31-0 dismantling where the score doesn't even really do it justice because the Chiefs just kind of let things ride after that. What a game. We can't wait to break that down and get you ready for next week's game against the Washington Commanders.
There you go.
That's going to do it for the KCSN post-game show. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, supporting. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.
We all eaten.
I'm full.